Okay, we've talked about 3 reasons, actually 4 if we include the candy. Hey everyone, this is Yvette Hampton. Welcome back to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast. I'm back with Aby Rinella today, and we are having a great time this week. This is part of our Homeschool Survival series. We're talking about the 3 C's:
coffee,
co-ops, curriculum,
chocolate, and
conventions.
candy.
This is why I keep this girl around. She is a girl after my own heart. What's your favorite candy, Aby?
Well, I need to have chocolate. I'm not a big candy person if it's not chocolate. I do like sweet tarts though. Well, are you going to mail
Oh,
me some?
I might. I don't know. Maybe I will.
Chocolate. You just got to give me
What
chocolate.
kind of chocolate? You like dark chocolate?
Hello.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's like a
How are we
vitamin.
friends?
I don't
I don't
know.
like dark chocolate. It's bitter and tastes yucky.
What? Oh my word.
I know. I like the junky, like Hershey Kisses and
Oh,
M&M's kind of chocolate.
gag. Gross. Okay, what about other kind of candy? Like I like sweet tarts, Sour Patch Kids, that kind of.
Oh, yeah. So I
Yeah.
like sugary candy way more than I like chocolate. I mean, I'll eat chocolate, I am human, but I would, if my choice is between like a sugary sweet
Yeah.
candy and a chocolate, my new favorite one is the Nerds, like the big Nerds, the Nerds
Oh, I
chew
love
things,
nerds.
but not the little Nerds.
Oh,
Like they're
no?
like the big chewy
Oh,
Nerds.
I
They come in a
haven't
big
seen
yellow
them.
pack. Oh my goodness, they're so good.
Actually, this is why we're friends because when we're together, I can take we're not fighting. Like I'll take the dark chocolate and you take
Right.
the gross chocolate, right? So we're not,
Yeah.
you
Or
know.
the sweet tarts. I like sweet tarts too. Or Smarties because they
Yeah.
make you smart.
Oh, I like white Smarties.
They all taste the
I know,
same.
but I like to pick out the white ones and then I like to grind them between my teeth so they make powder. What about Fun Dip?
Oh,
Fun
Fun
Dip
Dip is the
is
best.
hands down the best candy.
But just the stick. I mean, I want just a pack of the sticks.
No,
Like
I
the
like the
sugar is
sticks too.
okay.
It's totally worth the mouth sores that you get when you're done eating
You
it.
get mouth sores from Fun Dip?
Oh, 100%. I get mouth
That's
sores from
weird.
candy. My body and sugar aren't best friends.
Oh, that's so sad. Not me. I get
Really?
sores if I don't have sugar. No, I'm
Oh,
just
see?
kidding.
That's why we're great friends. You can have all of it. Okay, I don't
Yes,
know.
I love Fun
Speaking
Dip
of
though.
candy, tell me about homeschool conventions.
Well, that is a great segue. But first, let me say thank you to CTC Math, our sponsor,
Yes.
which you may or may not see them at a homeschool convention this year. If you go, I
Oh,
don't know whether or not they actually have booths there, but we're going to find out,
yeah. Or which states they'll be in.
or what states they'll be in. I'm sure
Yeah.
that they do in some states.
Yeah.
But if you don't happen to see them at your homeschool convention, check them out online at ctcmath.com. Fantastic online math program. You guys check them out. If you haven't done it yet, just go do it right now. Just don't
Go.
stop listening to the podcast, but just
When
as
you're
you're
done.
listening or when you're done, yeah,
Yeah.
just go type in ctcmath.com and see if it's a good fit for your family. So thank you to CTC Math. Yeah. So speaking of candy and conventions, did you
Almost every
know
booth at the convention has
Yeah,
a bowl of candy.
this is what Lacey does when we go to
I
conventions.
was
She
there.
finds a friend. That's right.
Oh.
You were there.
She brought me
She
so much candy.
she finds a friend. Well, usually she'll find a booth that is giving away like a free bag or something because
Yeah.
they all give away free things.
Yeah.
And then she'll get the bag and then she'll go find all the booths that have candy
Yes.
and she will fill her bag with
So
candy and then bring it back and, sit under the table and eat candy. It's fantastic.
I love that.
It
I
keeps her
remember she
happy.
did that when we were together at the HSLDA one. She was bringing me candy. Andy's Mints. She found the Andy's Mints booth.
Yes, it's so funny.
Ugh.
So
So that's
candy
the
and
number one
conventions.
reason. Yeah. So there's tip number one: go to a
Tip number
homeschool
one.
convention and you'll get free candy.
Right. So you really need 9 reasons because Aby has a list of 8 reasons to attend a homeschool convention. She
Yeah.
wrote this article for Homeschool Idaho magazine, right?
Yes. In
Okay.
2020, like a month before our convention was canceled
Oh
because
my
the world
goodness.
got canceled.
Yeah.
Um,
But this year, the world is not canceled.
no, and
And
conventions
conventions
are
are,
on.
they are on and thriving.
They are
And
thriving. They're the place to
yes.
go. So let's dive in. Number
Okay.
one, getting away. Okay, moms, you don't need me to tell you this. You need to get away. Like
Yes.
when you're at home, everything else is staring you in the face. When you get to a convention, it's like you can finally see, sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees because there's just so much coming at you all the time. When you go to a convention, it's like you back up and you get a bird's eye view of like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It gives you the bigger picture. You get time away to really think about nothing else but homeschooling. I know a lot of moms who take the whole weekend away, either with their spouse or
Mhm.
just with another group of moms, and they use it for planning they use it for just like refocusing and regrouping and rebooting and refreshing, all those things. So I would say one huge reason to go to a homeschool convention is just to get away and refocus.
Yes. Agreed. It is a fantastic time. And if your husband is willing to go with you, take him with you.
Yes.
It is so important for husbands to go with their wives because it really will get you on the same page
Yep.
with homeschooling almost every time. I mean, I just, it's such a blessing when we go to conventions and we see dads walking around with their families and holding their little kids' hands and holding their wives' hands. And we
Yep.
just see them there as families. And not that it's wrong to go without your husband. If
Right.
your husband really can't or doesn't want to go,
Right. Don't
um,
make it a fight. Don't
right,
force him to go.
right.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But if he's willing to go
Yes.
with you, I cannot more highly recommend that. Garrett went the first year we ever went to a convention, and it literally was a game changer. I mean,
Right.
it was amazing what it did to his heart and to mine.
Right.
And so yes, definitely go together
Yeah,
as a
and that
couple.
was actually my next point was it's about so much more than homeschool. Every homeschool convention that I have been to has been I feel like also a marriage conference. I mean,
Yeah,
every like it talks about family, they talk about family, they talk about marriage, they encourage dads
right.
and their role
Parenting,
as fathers, parenting. So homeschool conventions are not you're not just going to go sit there and listen about homeschooling. I mean, I've never
right.
been to one where I do. I walk away, Jesse and I walk away feeling like that was the first convention he ever went to. He walked away, he was like, "Whoa, that was not just about," cuz he's always thought, you're homeschooling. I trust you.
Right.
I support you. But it built our marriage. It gave him
Hmm.
so much encouragement as a father.
Yep.
He was connected to other dads there. So it is about so much more. I would say even a homeschooler could go to a homeschool convention and walk away completely refreshed, refilled with a new focus,
Yep.
and
Yep.
hopefully ready to pull their kids out.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's about more than homeschooling. That's number 2. So number 1, getting away. Number 2, it's about more than homeschool. Number 3, this is the thing that struck me the very most when I went to my very first homeschool convention as a kind of a newbie in the homeschool world is I realized I am a part of something so much bigger. Where
Mm,
I live, the homeschool community is very small. I am like an island. I feel lonely. And I walked in to this auditorium with hundreds and hundreds of homeschooler, and I felt like I was gonna fall to my knees before God. Like, this is huge. Like,
yeah.
we are an army. Like, there are parents who are rising up to teach and train their children in truth. And I felt so much hope for our future, honestly, when I
Hmm.
looked around and I'm like, I'm not alone. This isn't just me. Like, and then we always pray and often do worship. And it was like you would hear these parents coming together for the same common goal and
Yeah.
common purpose, worshiping the same God, raising up a generation of children to worship him. And it was unbelievably powerful. So if
Yeah.
you walk away with nothing other than I'm part of something bigger, and I would say that goes for the kids programs at these too, is the kids see, holy moly, there's hundreds of us.
Yeah.
Like there are so many of us. We are part of a movement. We're a part of a calling. We're part of
Yeah.
something so much bigger.
Yep. Yep. Good stuff.
So
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
What we do at IEW is break through the noise of the grammar and the writing prompts, and we say, this is what you do, step by step. And I've witnessed it over and over again, both watching Andrew teach and hearing from parents, this is the best writing program. We've made it so easy and made it really affordable. So any mom can teach writing to their children using our course, and we guarantee it.
To try 3 weeks of free lessons, visit IEW.com. We are back with Aby. Okay, we've talked about 3 reasons, actually 4 if we include the candy.
yeah, which is important. We need to include that. We'll put our favorite candies in the show notes. Just kidding. Okay.
And
we'll
our
keep
address so
going.
people
And
can
our
send it
address.
to us.
Absolutely. Okay. Also, continuing ed. Homeschool conventions are like a continuing ed class. If you're a nurse or a doctor, or a lawyer, a teacher, all these different, things, you often have to take continuing ed classes to stay up to date. And so I feel like a homeschool convention it is a continuing ed for us as homeschool moms. We learn new things. We see new things that are out there. We learn new tactics and ways of educating our children. Every year I go, this year I go and I'm going to be really plugging into some of the homeschool high school things because this is going to be new for me,
Yeah.
So I need to go and sit at the feet of those that have gone before me in that area and look at new curriculums for that. So, as we teach our children at home, we need to continually be learning ourselves, and a homeschool convention is a great way to stay on top of new resources, new ways of doing things, that sort of thing. Okay, I think this is number 5 or 6 or something in there, and it's books. Homeschool curricula or homeschool conventions are the place to go for books. Most of them have used curriculum sales.
Mhm.
And are there 2 things that homeschool moms love more besides books and a good deal?
And chocolate.
And chocolate.
Candy.
And they usually will have that there too at the used curriculum sale. And then also vendors come in with all of their curriculum books. So you
Mhm.
can, I am one of those moms that looking at it online, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I got to touch it. I got to flip through the pages.
Yep.
So you can see all the books there. You can touch them, feel them, and you can often talk to the vendors who can tell you a lot about them. So
Mhm.
that's another good reason.
Yeah. Which, by the way, really
Yeah.
quickly, speaking of books,
Yeah.
we are learning more and more that most companies, it used to be where they would bring stacks and stacks and boxes of their curriculum to conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Parents would purchase what they want there at the convention, and they would
Right.
walk around with their, rolling bags or
Yes.
suitcases or, whatever, and go home with, 600 pounds of books. But now what many of these companies are doing is they will have several of their books to look at and to flip through and to talk through with the
Mhm.
parents. And then they'll offer free shipping, a lot of them, or at least
Oh,
some kind of
yes.
discounted shipping. And
Yep.
so you can just purchase it there and they'll just ship it to your house, and you don't
Yes.
even have to worry about, trekking
Totally.
back home with it. So
Right.
I think that's great. I love that they're doing that because
Yeah.
it just gives you the freedom of not having to carry it around, which
Totally.
there's something exciting and fun about doing that. But I think I like that a lot of the different publishers
Yeah.
and companies are doing that now.
I agree. I like that too. And also one thing about buying books at the convention is you often get a discount by
Yep.
purchasing it there. Or, even if they ship it online. And number 2, it does support your state
Yes.
organization because it supports them. That means it supports you. That means it supports
Right.
your freedoms. It supports your, legislative, your state. So if you can purchase it there,
Yeah.
that's the key is purchase it there as much as you can. So, okay,
Yeah.
2 more, 3 more, 4 more. Okay, we got to hurry. Encouragement and inspiration. I will promise, I will give you a money back guarantee right now. Your money for what you paid to listen to this podcast, not what you paid to go to the convention. If you do not walk away encouraged and inspired, you
Yeah.
will listen to speakers, you will talk to other moms, you will find your people, and you will leave encouraged, inspired, and a completely refreshed and renewed vision of
Mhm.
what God has called you to do. And that's just a promise. You will.
Yeah.
It's that right there is worth it. And often they're in the spring, and so then it powers you or the beginning of the summer. It powers you through the end, and it gets you super excited for the next year. So,
Yep.
another great reason. It's an awesome opportunity. If you're a sold out, committed homeschool mom that's been doing this forever, it's a great way to pass it on. It's a really wonderful way to take somebody new, somebody that's considering homeschooling,
Mhm.
someone that said, I never would, take them with you. The Hamptons are an example of people that would never, and then they went to a convention. It was literally a state homeschool convention that sold them and saved their kids from the public school system.
Yes.
They're that powerful.
Yeah.
So don't just go for you, but take another family, take another mom, take another dad, and make it a great weekend to minister to another family
Yeah.
who's thinking about it. So an opportunity to pass it on.
Yep.
Fellowship. There's a lot of fellowship there. I can't tell you what it feels like to be in a giant place with people that I feel like in life I'm constantly defending my choice. I'm having to give reasons. I'm having to prove myself as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. And when you go to a homeschool convention, you can just let all of that down. It's kind of like your faith.
Yeah.
You're constantly fighting for your faith in the world. And then you go to church and you're like, here we are together, the body, And it's like that with homeschool. You go to a homeschool convention and you're like, I don't have to justify or prove myself to anybody here. We're all doing this for the same reason. And it's exciting. And you meet friends year after year. And then the last one we kind of touched on, and it's a great opportunity. Most of them, I would say most of them have a kids program.
Yep.
So it's a really, really cool opportunity for your kids to come together with the bigger picture, the bigger crowd of homeschool. And it's like a camp for the kid,
Yeah.
you know? So that's another great reason, is to give your kids a really awesome, bigger picture homeschool opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, so many good reasons. And there are so
Yeah.
many more. I mean,
So many more.
conventions are just fun. And I know
They
some
are
people get
fun.
overwhelmed at the big crowds. You know, if you're going to a large convention, some conventions are very small.
Right.
Just find one that fits your family.
Yeah.
Many states, not all, but many state organizations put on conventions.
Mhm.
If you go to the Homeschool Freedom website, and I'll put the link to that in the show notes, but if you go to homeschoolfreedom.com, there's a page on there that has a list of a bunch of the different conventions in
Right.
the country that are going on this spring and summer. So see if you can find one that is within a, you know, reasonable driving distance for you.
Right.
And just plan to go. They're so
Yeah.
worth it, you guys. I promise you. Some people think I don't need conventions. If you haven't been to one, then you don't
Right.
quite understand. It's kind of like having kids, where some people
Yeah.
are like, I don't really need kids. And then you
And then
have a
you
kid
have
and you're
them.
like, oh, they're
Yep.
such a blessing and they're
Yeah.
so wonderful.
I think you don't realize what you're missing till you go. But
Yes.
also, to free some of you, if it's not your season, if you have 2 toddlers and a baby,
Yes.
and leaving your kids, that's okay.
Yep.
It wasn't my season for many, many
Agreed.
years, and it is my season now. So again, pray about it, because if you go and it's not the best place for you to be, then it's not going to be great. And the second
Right.
thing is, you know, going as a couple is powerful. It's awesome. It's amazing. I can promise your husband's going to get something out of it. But moms, ask him and then lay it at the feet of Jesus
Yeah.
and pray, because do not pressure. Do not let it be a point of contention. Do not let bitterness grow. Don't go upset. At that point, grab a group of moms and go and come home and be refueled to
Yeah.
love your husband and bring home what you brought. But I've seen too many women go mad and bitter because their husbands aren't there, or their husbands are drug along, and it's not a great opportunity. So make the convention yours. Do what's best for your family. Do what's best for your marriage, and take from
Yes.
it what you will.
Yeah,
You know?
that's right. And really quickly, just so you guys know where we are going to be this year, we're only going to
Yeah.
be at the Hampton family. We're going to
Hampton.
be at the Ark Encounter from May 9th, actually 9th through the 14th. So it's two conferences back to back. It's the Building Strong Foundations Family Homeschool Experience. So we will be at both of those. So if you guys go, I know many of you probably are signed up for that, because there are a lot of people going between those two
Ugh.
conferences. So if you're going there, come and find us. We'll have a Schoolhouse Rock table there, and we would love to meet you. And then I will be speaking actually at FPEA, which is the Florida Parent Educators Association convention. That one's May 26th through the 28th. So we would love to see you there as well. If you're there, please come and find us. We're actually going to be playing the movie at FPEA on a loop. It's going to be playing continuously through pretty much the whole convention. And so we have our own kind of separate room where we're going to be playing the movie. We will be between that room and our booth. So if you're going to be at that convention, please come and meet us. We would love to meet you and give you a hug. That would be fun. And then Aby, where are you going to be this year?
I will be speaking at Homeschool Idaho first Friday and Saturday of June.
Okay.
And that's going to be awesome. Schoolhouse Rock movies will be available there as
Yep.
well. It's going to be, we're at a new venue, which is going to be amazing and
Exciting.
awesome. And we have a lot of really great speakers. So come on out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then there are other conventions that are actually playing Schoolhouse Rocked the movie. We won't be there, but I know Chia of California, they're going to be playing the film. Idaho, I think you guys are playing the film too. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. I believe we're going to be having it on a loop, but you'll definitely see the trailer, and you'll definitely be able to get your hands on the DVD.
Yeah. Yes. So I hope we'll get to meet you guys this summer.
And actually, we'll have a couple cast members from Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah. You're going to be there
at our convention.
Caleb Schrader
is going to be there. Find a convention, go to a convention, hug on your people.
Yeah.
Be encouraged. Know that you're doing big things for the kingdom, and you're a part of something so much bigger.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Stuff.
And
So fun.
denim jumpers are optional.
But minivans are not. You have to drive a minivan to a convention.
Oh,
It's the only car they will allow in the parking lot.
Otherwise, you pay double.
Oh, right. Just kidding. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us this week. I hope you have been encouraged. I hope we have been able to just equip you with some resources for homeschooling just to make it easier and better and more fulfilling. And as always, pray about what the Lord has for you and for your family. We are so grateful for you. Thank you for spending time with us today. Again, please leave a review for the podcast. If you've not seen the movie, go watch it. And please consider supporting the ministry of Schoolhouse Rocked financially. You can do that by going to the website, schoolhouserocked.com. We would love your support. It's what keeps us going. It's what keeps this ministry going so that we can minister to you and to other families as well. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you back here on Monday. Bye.
We know that we are called to put on the armor of God. So we are teaching our children to be salt and light in the world, but we're not putting our children out onto the front lines of the battle until they're ready.
We need to look at our children and realize they can't be salt till they've got salt. And if the salt's contaminated, then it's no good for anything. That's what the scripture says. And they have to remember that because of our sin nature, it's more likely the culture will influence our children rather than the children the culture. So how can we send them out into the world until we have prepared them? You don't send a knight out to fight until he's prepared with all the armor that he needs.
So the front lines really in the culture right now, what is up for grabs in the culture? It's truth. Truth is what's in the crosshairs right now. And until our children are steeped in truth, until they know truth, until they can defend truth, we would never put a defenseless child out on the front lines. And education is a frontline battle. It is not a sideline battle. It's not something that's happening in the periphery of our lives. This is happening in the culture in real time. This is the front line of the culture. This is where the battle for truth is being fought, and it is where the battle for truth is being lost. And so we do not want our children out on the front lines. We are training our children to go out onto the front lines. And so to me, when we talk about salt and light, I say, let's put the people out on the front lines who are trained and ready for battle.